Hello and welcome to the classroom. Hi, Sue. Our friends are here. Sue, today's letter of the day is letter L. L is for Little Online School on the Prairie. We're going to learn all about prairie life, how people lived long ago. We're going to make homemade toys, a doll and a ball, and we're also going to read a Little House on the Prairie book. It's about the little house in the big woods during winter time. Are you ready to get started? Okay, I am too. Have a seat, Sue, so we can do our class job. Remember what we have to do? We have to feed Fred, our fish, every time you come to class. Hi, Fred. Well, now that we fed Fred, let's turn around and see what day it is. The month is December, and how are we going to count today? We're going to warm our hands by the fireplace. A long time ago in the prairie days, people couldn't just turn on their heater. They would have fireplaces in their homes. Some people have fireplaces today. Let's warm our hands by our pretend fireplace as we say each number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Today is December 27th. Can you say today's date? December 27th. If you go all the way up to the top, you can see today starts with a W. W says woo, woo, woo. So what day of the week is it? Wednesday. Days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week, days of the week. There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. 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 Well, it is time to look outside the window and see what your weather is like today. Is your weather sunny, cloudy, rainy, or snowy? When I do like this, shout out whatever your weather is. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? It is out today. It is out today. Well, let's dress Weather Bear. I think for Weather Bear, today we're going to put on a long sleeve shirt. And we'll put on his long overalls. And what is the season right now? It's winter. Well, that was our calendar and weather time, and now it's time for our letter of the day. Today's letter is letter L. Can you say L? Does your name have a letter L? If your name has letter L, stand up. If your name has letter L, stand up. If your name has letter L, if your name has letter L, if your name has letter L, stand up. Well, L is for Little Online School on the Prairie, and I can tell you something about prairie life. One of the things that people like to do was to make quilts. You can see a beautiful quilt behind me. A quilt is when you take pieces of fabric and sew them together to make a blanket. This is a beautiful quilt. I can see lots of colors, pink and purple and green and blue. We're going to decorate our letter L to look like a quilt. So here you have it. This is how I decorated letter L. I just made lots of little colorful squares and I just colored the lowercase l. So what is this letter again? Letter L. Now we can recognize it. So next we'll practice writing it. I think that letter L is probably the easiest letter of all the letters in the alphabet to write. All you have to do is make a line that goes straight down like number 1, and then make a line that goes straight out. Down and out. Can you make an uppercase letter L? Just make a line that goes straight down and out. Down and out. Down and out. Down, out. That's the uppercase letter L. And if you thought that was easy, take a look at lowercase l. It's just a line that comes straight down like number 1. Let's practice writing the lowercase l. Make a line that just comes straight down, 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 straight down, down, down. Well, I know you are doing a great job listening and learning and practicing. I'm going to give you this sticker for your handwriting paper. Well, now we know what letter L looks like. We can recognize it and we can write it. So next we'll talk about the sound that letter L makes. To make the letter L sound, take your tongue and put it at the top of your mouth behind your teeth and hum. Can you try? Letter L makes the sound. Kind of sounds like we're getting ready to sing a song. We're warming up. Letter L says as in la 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 la. Try to make that sound. It'll help you with your letter L pronunciation. La 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 la. Letter L says as in la 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 la. We're going to do our blending today, but we're not going to use a whiteboard and colorful markers because back in the Prairie days, they used chalkboards. So we'll use a chalkboard today for our blending time. Can you help me sing the vowel song? A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels. We're going to blend letter L with each of these vowels. And I'll use my vowel props to remind you what the vowels sound like. Letter A says as in achoo. Ah, la, la, like ladder. Now L-E. E looks like an ear. Old man E's ear. E says eh. What'd you say, Sonny? Le. Le, like leg. I looks like an icky sticky lollipop. Le, li, as in lip. Now L-O. O has a sore throat and needs to go to the doctor. At the doctor, O says, ah, la. Let's read a real word. I'm going to put G at the end. We know this blend is la. G says, like gulping water. Log. Log. What's that word? Log. Log. Long ago in the Prairie days, people would build log homes. Last one, U has a tummy ache. He ate too many sweet treats. And now he says, Can you say, la, like lunch? Well, you did a great job blending, and we read the word log. Let's erase the chalkboard. That's what they would do long ago. And now it's time for our sight word practice. Do you remember the sight words we've been working on? Do you remember this word? Where? Where? Is. My. Where is my? Let's read our letter L reader. Everything on this page is going to start with letter L, as in la 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 la. My L book. Where is my, and what's this? Ladybug. Next, where is my leaf? Last one. This one's a little tricky because this is a vest, but remember it has to start with an L. So this is actually a life vest. It's what you might use if you get in a boat. Where is my life vest? You did a great job reading our sight word reader. Well, now it's time for math. For math today, we're making a homemade chalkboard, just like students used back in the Prairie days. I'm using a black piece of paper and either a crayon, a white crayon, or a white piece of chalk. Okay, so we're going to practice writing numbers 1 through 10. If you don't have a piece of black paper, just use any paper. That's okay. Can you write number 1? 1 looks like a lowercase L, doesn't it? Straight down. Now number 2. Let's write number 3. Curve around and around again. Did you know that number 4 looks like letter L? And then right beside it, you put a number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's write number 5. Little line, backward C with a top. What comes after 5? 6. Curve around like you're making the letter C, and then loop down. Curve around, loop down. Next is 7. Straight out, slide down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's next? 8. 8 looks like the letter S, but then you close up these 2 circles. Close it up, close it up. Now it looks like a snowman. Next, we have number 9, and a circle and a line makes the number 9. And 10 is 1, 0. So you can use a piece of black paper, pretend that it's a chalkboard, use white crayon or chalk to practice writing 1 through 10. Well, that was our math time, and now it's time for social studies. We're going to learn about Prairie days. Take a look at this. Life in the Prairie days. During the Prairie days, girls wore long dresses and bonnets. Boys wore hats and suspenders. Houses were made of logs. There were no lights. They used oil lanterns or candles. Back in the Prairie days, they grew their own vegetables to eat. There were no cars then. They rode in buggies pulled by horses. They went to school in a one-room schoolhouse. All the grades came in together to learn. They didn't have paper and markers and crayons and all those fun things that we have today. They used chalkboards called slates at school. They would sew their own clothes and even their own blankets. And they would make their own toys, like this corncob doll and this wooden toy buffalo. Well, we are going to make our own homemade toys. So let's head over to the art table and I'll show you how to make a doll and a ball. Let's go. So we're going to make a corncob doll like the one in the picture, but we're not going to use a corncob. We're going to use a toilet tube, a toilet paper tube. That's going to be like our corn cob. I'm also going to use a big piece of fabric, just some scrap fabric. I'm going to use 2 smaller pieces of fabric and 2 rubber bands. All right, so I'm going to take everything and move it out of the way except for the big piece of cloth and this toilet paper tube. I'm going to wrap the big piece of cloth around the toilet paper tube like this, just wrap it around. I'm going to take one of the little pieces of cloth and I'm going to put it at the top like this so that it looks like a little bonnet. I'm going to secure that with a rubber band. And so there you have it. See, that makes the little face, and there's the bonnet. I'm going to take the other piece of cloth and I'm going to lay it right on top. This is the dress, but this is going to be the apron. I'm going to lay it right on top. And then I'm going to secure it in the middle with a rubber band. That's the apron. And that's it. We made a little corn cob doll. Now I'm going to show you how to make the ball. So to make the homemade ball, you're going to need another piece of fabric, just any kind of old fabric. And you're going to need some pillow stuffing. Put that right in the middle and pull the 2 opposite corners together and tie them. And then pull the other 2 corners together and tie them. And this time pull as hard as you can. There's some ends sticking out, so we're just going to tuck those into a little hole, or just tuck them in someplace. And there you have it. We made a little cloth ball, and we also made a little corn cob doll. That was our art project for today. Now it's time for story time. For story time today, we're going to read a book about Little House on the Prairie. It's called Winter Days in the Big Woods. Once upon a time, a little girl named Laura lived in the big woods of Wisconsin in a little house made of logs. Laura lived in the little house with her pa, her ma, her big sister Mary, her baby sister Carrie, and their good old bulldog Jack. Winter was coming to the big woods. Soon the little house would be covered with snow. Pa went hunting every day so that they would have meat during the long, cold winter. Ma, Laura, and Mary gathered potatoes and carrots, beets and turnips, cabbages and onions, and peppers and pumpkins from the garden next to the little house. By the time winter came, the little house was full of good things to eat. Laura and Mary thought the attic was a lovely place to play. They played house by using the round orange pumpkins as tables and chairs, and everything was so snug and cozy. And if you look right here, Laura is holding a corn cob doll, much like we made. She took a piece of corn on the cob and she wrapped it with some fabric, and she's pretending it's her baby. Soon the first snow came, and it was very cold. In the mornings, the windows were covered with beautiful frost pictures of trees and flowers and fairies. Laura and Mary were allowed to use Ma's sewing thimble to make pretty patterns of circles in the frost. In the mornings, Laura and Mary helped Ma wash the dishes and make the beds. After this was done, Ma began the work that belonged to that day. Each day had its own proper work. Ma would say, wash on Monday, iron on Tuesday, mend on Wednesday, churn on Thursday, clean on Friday, bake on Saturday, rest on Sunday. Laura liked the churning and baking days best of all. Ma had to churn the cream for a long time until it turned into butter. Mary could sometimes churn while Ma rested, but Laura was too little. On Saturdays, when Ma made the bread, Laura and Mary each had a little piece of dough to make into a little loaf. Ma even gave them a bit of cookie dough to make little cookies. After the day's work was done, Ma would sometimes cut out paper dolls for Laura and Mary. She drew their faces on with a pencil and cut dresses, hats, and ribbons out of colored paper so that Mary and Laura could dress their dolls beautifully. But the best time of all was at night when Pa came home. He would throw off his fur cap and coat and mittens and call, Where's my little half pint? That's what he called Laura because she was so small. Sometimes Pa would take down his fiddle and sing. Pa would keep time with his foot. Laura and Mary would clap their hands to the music when he sang. Other times, Pa would tell stories. When Laura and Mary begged him for a story, he would take them on his knees and tickle their faces with his long whiskers until they laughed out loud. His eyes were blue and merry. Outside, it was cold and snowy, but the little log cabin was snug and cozy. Pa, Ma, Laura, Mary, and baby Carrie were comfortable and happy in their little house in the big woods. The end. Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed letter L for Little Online School on the Prairie. Tomorrow, M is for Mitten. We're going to read the book, The Mitten. So come back and join us, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.